Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hi, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Whitehawk 28RL travel trailer. Guys, I picked a really cool trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things I want you to take into consideration. First and foremost, your slide. Went ahead and started this video with the slide out so you can see how much room you're going to need. Go ahead and measure that and be able to tell when you go into a space that you have plenty of room for this to come in and out unimpeded, and preferably nothing hanging over top of it. Next thing I want you to think about is where your water and electricity hookup is so that you can plug in at the campsite. Your water and power are both on the rear of the unit. Here's your city water or camp water connection, and here's your power cord. So park accordingly so that you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. First thing you're going to do after you unhook your hitch is level your unit. Now I do recommend getting on the stick-on level and putting it about the middle of your unit. Have someone watch that while you lower or raise the unit until you've got it level. Now should you not have power, now this little rubber stopper here is a manual override with a hand crank. Bring that up and down if you need it. Once you've got your unit level, next thing you do is stabilize it. On all four corners you have stabilizing jacks. Now you do a hand crank down, 3/4 inch socket. You can hook up a drill gun or an impact driver to this and it'll run down in just a matter of seconds. I do recommend, if you do use those, that you slow down when you get to the bottom, because you don't want this to go down too far. Remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. Once you've got your unit level, bring these down just until they're taut. You only want to stabilize the unit. I highly recommend jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop, better distribute the weight. Grab you a 4-pack of those in the store with your 10% off coupon. Put them down and run all 4 stabilizing jacks down. Now once you've got all 4 stabilizing jacks down, you got our unit level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Again, at the rear of your unit, you have your big long 30 amp cord, and should you need it, at the end of that 30 amp cord is a 30 to 110 adapter. In case you need to plug in at home, that comes in the convenience pack. Got our power hooked up. Next thing we do is hook up our water. Right here at City Water Connect. Open this up, grab your hose, and grab your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator will reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Use this whenever putting water into the City Water Connect or the black tank flush. Protect the lines in your unit. Hook this up, hook the hose up, but don't turn our hose on yet. We're going to come around to the campsite and find your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point is opening up our hot water heater. This cover comes right off, and returning our drain plug. You may have left it out from the last time you were camping. Draining your hot water heater. Put that in there nice and snug with a socket. Then you know your hot water heater is plugged, and you go ahead and turn your hose on. After your hose has been on for a little while, you're going to come up to this pressure release valve. You're going to pull on that, and that's going to let all the air out of the lines. Once you have a nice little steady flow of water coming out there, you know your hot water heater is full, and you can turn it on from indoors. Now you do have, it says electric element down here. This electric element should be left to off unless you're plugged into 110. If you're plugged into 110, you go ahead and turn this on here, but you also have to turn it on indoors. If your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here and open it up and see if either one of these are bubbled out. If they are, just push it back in. It's just a reset. Now let's say we're going camping and we're not using city water. We're just going to use potable water and go dry camping. Just to the left of your hot water heater. Potable tank. And you can just fill this up with a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. You do have a little overflow valve right here. And then inside, you can, where you're checking your water levels, your tanks and battery, you can just hold your fresh water button, and once that's full, you know you're full. Same thing, bleed the lines out of here. Bleed the air out of the lines, do everything the same on your hot water heater. Just so when using potable water is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water, it's already pressurized. Alright, got our water and electricity hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit before going inside. On the campsite here, there's your rear stabilizing jack. You do have a light, a little blue light that allows you to see up underneath the steps a little easier at night. Again, your potable water, hot water heater. This is your furnace heat release. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of that, it'll get rather warm. That's access to the back of your fridge, a hood vent for your microwave, and your outdoor speakers, and your huge awning. We'll run that out and show you how far to run that out. Coming up the side, this is prepped for cable and satellite. You can set a TV out here and watch the TV. Your separate bedroom entryway. Your big pass-through storage, which looks like I've got this side locked. I'll unlock it on the other side. Coming on the front, check your battery posts now and then. Make sure that them are connected well. You're bouncing it down the road, they may come loose. On your propane, simply turn this regulator to the side that you wish to be using, or put it in the middle and open them both up and it'll automatically go over. The unit is also prepped for solar. This little piece here, you can plug a solar panel in here and it'll trickle charge your batteries. Great for dry docking, keeps your batteries going. And over here is your pass-through, this side of your pass-through storage. You have a light. And this is your battery disconnect. It disconnects all the power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide detector. Over here, your black tank flush. Talk about that when leaving the campsite. And your black and 2 gray tanks. Talk about that when leaving the campsite. On your slides, the only thing I want to mention on these, this is called a wiper. This rubber piece that flips in and out on your slide is called a wiper. They sell a wiper fluid. The best way to get longevity out of these is to keep them pliable, and that wiper fluid does that. I highly recommend doing that seasonal. Keep them in great shape. And then come around to the back of your unit. Use your low point drain. Your ladder for going up and checking your seams. Caulk as needed. I recommend beginning and the end of the season. Spare tire with a nice cover on it. The unit's also prepped for a Furrion backup camera. It's a device that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. It gives you a backup camera for the unit. Power, city water, cable input, and an outdoor shower. Well, covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look on the inside. Most importantly, when you come in the unit, make sure that you and everyone knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Just to the left of that is your 12-volt carbon monoxide detector. Now, the reason I mention that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're going to be gone for the day and you have nothing charging your battery, use your battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down. A heat release. Here's a 110 with GFCI reset right at the doorway. Now coming up to the right of your doorway. So here's all your lighting. Your living room lighting, security light and awning light outside. Control panel. When you come into the unit, if you just hit this number 1, it's going to do all your main ceiling lights. So the way this works is here's where you select everything. Top button over here on the J command. AC main, there's your heat. There's your settings. You can actually pair this device to the J command app, the BM Pro app, and it'll allow you to do all this from outdoors. Here's where you check your tanks. Here's where you can watch for that fresh water to fill up when you know you're using potable water. Here's where you turn on your water pump. If you just go here, if you want to select, go down over here. Electric, hot water heater if you're hooked up to electric. Hot water heater if you're hooked up to gas. And to the right is where you turn it on. Going back up top, your awning. Go down here and select your awning. Go over here and hit retract. We'll go ahead and run that out real quick. Excuse me, extend. So you see how far to run that out. The doorway, extend. Well, that's extending out. Over here is where you turn on your water heater as well, or fireplace. You can't run both. You have to have your water heater on or your fireplace. They are on the same circuit, so here's the switch to switch between the two. Run that awning out just until that flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see that bar. On your doors, slamming, they're actually called a slam lock, works best. Here's your deadbolt. Little screen. Keep the bugs out if you're using your screen door. Coming through the unit, you do have a lot of touch button lighting. Coming over to your stove, the glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Everything is lit from here. You have a panel light. When you turn that panel light, when you turn to gas, then you know it's on. Hit this spark, you'll get flames when your gas is on. Same thing over here on your oven. You also have an oven light, panel light. Turn that to the light. Spark it from over here, no more pilot down there. Coming over to your Furrion fridge. All electric. Coming down on the floor here is your access panel to your breaker box and fuse box. Over here is your fireplace. Again, they're not just for looks anymore. It's a little chilly in here in the morning or evening. Go ahead and crank the heat up on this and it'll get warm in here rather quickly. RV technology sound system, AM, FM, Bluetooth, disc. Your Insignia TV. Another thing I want to mention about this, I believe, you get a hold of it with both hands here. Pull it out towards you. There's the cable. Cable goes down in here. So here's what I was looking for. Where your cable goes in, you have this light, cable TV or antenna. When you go to antenna, make sure this is 2 antennas, so when you scan for digital channels, it's a digital channel enhancer, allows you to pick up more channels. Again, your TV is on this big swivel. Fold it and push it in, it'll lock on there. Lighting for up in here. I left your chairs like this so that you can see how to put them for travel. Put that carpet wrap underneath them and strap them in. That's so that this slide can come in clearly without hindering your chairs. Keep an eye on them when you're closing them. Smoke alarm here in the ceiling. And I'll show you real quickly how to turn this into a bed. So I found standing in the middle works best. These two Velcro on. Remove those. Stand in the middle. Fold it out. Pull it towards you. Fold the back half down. This just matches information. Part numbers. Keep a hold of that in case you need to replace it. Just that quickly that becomes a bed. Reverse the process. that up. Again, stand in the middle, gives you good leverage. Pull that down. Return your cushions and just click your back to a bed or a sofa. Coming back into the bedroom, you do have some lighting here. HDMI hookups, cable. Lighting in here. This is also prepped for a television. USB ports over here. And a hand crank open exhaust fan. This is where it's wired for solar. This is just a template. If you ever decide to get this wired for solar, just keep that on there. That's for the techs. You'll see a couple of these around. All that does is help the thermostat work better. It's a temperature reader. Coming into your bathroom. Lots of lighting. 110 there. I just want to mention in here, keep an eye on your plumbing. It's mostly PEX. Again, you are bouncing a house down the road, so things wiggle loose, so maintain them. In here also a hand crank exhaust fan. Alright, so that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite. Close everything up. I forgot to mention how this folds up here. First and foremost, put them chairs to the side and make sure nothing is going to impede this slide from getting in the way. So what I like to do is come up here and hit number 1, and that shuts off all the house lights. That shows me all the individual lights I have turned on that I need to go around and shut off. So I'm going to do that real quick. So now that I have all the house lights shut off except for the main one that I can do from here, we're going to go up here and we're going to switch this down to slide, and we're going to hit retract. Again, you see the importance of the chairs being out of the way. The little door on your entertainment center over there, I would make sure is closed. And again, just mainly nothing in the way to impede this slide from coming in. Make sure your TV is tucked up in there nice and tight. And then we can shut off the lights and head outside. Alright, so important thing on bringing these steps on, make sure your door is all the way open. You don't want this to catch on it. Simply lift it up. Watch this side here. Let it set in, pull this back, and lock that in. Close your door. Lock and deadbolt your door. Lift and turn your handle. We're going to come around. We're going to bleed the lines in here and pull your drain plug. Do that with a socket. Remember, hot water will be coming out. Come up here, bring up our stabilizing jacks. Unhook our cable, unhook our water, unhook our power, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, you can take this hose, comes with your convenience pack. You're gonna hook it up right here. The first handle you're gonna pull is your black holding tank. Now once that black holding tank sounds like it's no longer draining, you're going to come right up here to the left to your tank flush. Again, use your water pressure regulator, hook the hose up, leave your black handle open, and run this for a good 5 minutes. So the guy behind you can wait 5 minutes while you clean your black tank out. Once that washes out nice, shut off your hose, remove your water pressure regulator, close your black handle, pull your first gray. After that's done, pull your second gray. After that's done, close your tank. Come back here, pull your low point drain. Take your sewage hose. Sometimes it's a little stiff, and store it right in there. I conveniently made this just the right size for sewage hoses. So store that in there. and head on home. Again, we thank you for your purchase. Hope you guys enjoy this Whitehawk for many years to come. Happy camping.